Well, hello there. Oh, you're approaching me? It's me, Détroit. Yare yare dase. I hope you enjoyed this intro. I did my best to make it as shitty as possible. I didn't even need to edit it. It's perfect as it is. And if you have no sound for the intro, I guess it's because the to be continued music had been copyrighted. So in case you weren't sure already, yeah, that was a JoJo reference. Why is that? Because this is an entire JoJo themed drawing video. Woo! JoJo, of course, refers to JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, the manga written by Hirohito Araki. This manga is really old, but it's awesome, and it's still being written. It's been like 30 years since it started. It's one of the most original manga piece ever. It doesn't look like any other manga I know. Although, I should clarify, I haven't read a lot of JoJo. I usually prefer to read mangas rather than watch the anime versions, but I only read part 1 of JoJo. There's so much pop culture around the anime that I had to watch it to understand the passion of the JoJo fandom. The to be continued meme, the it was me Dio, the you dare to approach me thing that I referenced in the intro as well. Anyway, this list of memes could go on forever. Today I'm drawing my JoJo Sona, complete with a stand and everything. There are a few things to know in order to make a good JoJo character. I'll talk about them all along the video, so stay until the end. Also subscribe so you can watch a new video every week at least. So the first thing to know is about the pose your character is gonna have. All JoJo artwork shows twisted bodies in highly impossible poses with bulging muscles everywhere and a serious expression. Also, if you can throw in a hand or two with fingers pointing in strange directions, that's good. Ask yourself, how likely am I to ever take this pose at a moment in my life? If the answer is 0% likely, then the pose is good for JoJo. Now let's move on to the choice of clothing. You want something tight, and that doesn't really make sense. To give you an example of how far you can push it, remember Jotaro's hat that blends in with his hair. I mean, if you can do that, you can do anything with clothing. A good advice concerning it would probably be to alternate between skin-tight stuff that lets the muscles bulge underneath and something really baggy like a jacket or a belt that you can add. You also have to add at least 3 useless accessories. It can be bracelets, necklace, suspenders, things like that. And make it gold, baby. All nice and shiny. I could talk about the character's hair, but I won't in this video. Because it could also be summed up with, it doesn't make any sense. Also, in my drawing, I kept the hair of my avatar as is, so it wouldn't really apply here. Another thing, while we talk about character design, is to have strange color choices. Don't get me wrong, I don't think personally that the choice of colors is bad in JoJo. It's very interesting, but it feels nice, at least in my eyes. It's usually very contrasting color choices. Just like any other choice you make in the character design, the goal is to make the most manly character, but at the same time the least manly. Do you know what I mean? A good comparison would be the movie Grease. If you look at John Travolta in the movie, with leather-tight pants, singing in a high-pitched voice and grease in his hair, it's not very manly for us. And yet, for the era and the context of the film, he's arguably the most manly in there. Well, for JoJo, it's the same, but with all the characters. So I think we're good for the character design now. About the style of the drawing, I can't really put it in words, what it looks like. The best idea would be to look for yourselves, ideally. But just remember to use thinner lines than me. I kinda went too heavy on it, but in reality the lines would just be really thin. For the shading, it is generally a mix between cell shading and cross-hatching. I would recommend doing it like I did, by laying flats first, then using a multiply layer on top to add the shaded areas. For me, I used a nice warm purple. And remember to make the folds of the clothing and stuff come out this way. For the cross-hatching, you'll see a brief example at the end. I actually forgot about it while drawing, so I added some, but way later. So now my JoJo Sona is complete, but it's only half of the whole drawing now, isn't it? Everybody wants to see the stand, because of course I have a stand. I'm not from JoJo parts 1 and 2, where the author hadn't created stands yet. So this one stumped me for a while in terms of inspiration. You see, JoJo stands are usually three things. It's either a very strong humanoid with a lot of muscles, or some kind of robot, or tiny bugs in large number. Or it could be a combination of two of them. Rarely the stand is something else, like a place or a vehicle or something, but usually robot, strong dude, or bug is enough. For my stand, since I wasn't that inspired, I went for a robot that you could argue is a bit similar in idea to Kakyoin's stand or Koishi's stand. Basically, it's a robot snake thingy. To be honest, I had just drawn the character and I didn't want to focus on more anatomy. Since I put a few triangle trinkets on the JoJo Sona, I used the same shape for the main blocks of my stand. Then I added a bunch of tubes and wires to make it robot-like. Now, let's talk a bit about my stand's power, shall we? First of all, his name is Cool Patrol. I decided on it because I was listening to a few albums of NSP, Ninja Sex Party, and Cool Patrol is one of their best songs. Since JoJo stands have names really close to song titles or musicians, then I thought it was fitting. Cool Patrol's power is, well, to be honest, I have no idea. I was kinda hoping I could improvise on the spot when I got to that part, and I don't know why, but I'm completely stuck. I can't think of anything good. You know what? I'll let you decide. Write something in the comments and I'll choose from there. You get to decide what my stand, Cool Patrol, does, okay? Finally, the idea I had in mind for the drawing as a whole was to make it look like the stat table that appears for each character in the middle of episodes. There's usually a picture of the stand, the user, their names, and then some stats. As you can see, I didn't bother drawing the stats part, I just took a template from internet. And I also chose the stats at random. Apparently I have a lot of potential, haven't I? To finish it off, add a shadow behind the character to put a little depth into the drawing, and voila, you're done. To be honest, I just wanted to talk about JoJo for a bit. It's a masterpiece. It's like nothing else I've ever watched. And I haven't seen it all yet. I'm only at the beginning of Giorno's part, Golden Wind, and I'll keep watching for a bit longer. As for you, you can like and comment the video, subscribe to my channel, and keep watching my drawings if you like them. That's all I had for today. Have a good week, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye!